What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about Brandon Sanderson's Starsight. Well, this one took me a little longer to get through than I thought. I didn't read as much as I thought I was going to on the weekends and stuff, but I finished it on January 30th. Then it took me a while to get my audio settings for this up. Hopefully it sounds better than it did last time. Let me know. So we're talking about Starsight. So for those of you that don't know, Starsight is the sequel to Skyward. And it's about a girl who wants to be a pilot and learn what happened to her father. Things happen in the story where she learns a little bit about herself and some other things related to, what planet she's on with, the people she knows, and it goes on from there. This one picks up later on in the story. I'm going to try to do non-spoilers right now, and then we'll talk about some spoiler stuff later on. But overall, I thought the story was really good. It was really, really different than the first one. The first one felt a lot more like, I guess, I don't want to say coming of age, but it was more like she was younger and she was learning how to deal with her situation with the people that she knew. This one is more about her learning about different prejudices between, the different alien races and herself, and how she feels towards them, and why they feel a certain way about humans, and why humans feel a certain way about them, and that stuff. It felt a lot more spy, like she was infiltrating a lot more. It felt like more suspense than the first one did. The first one felt like action packed, like it was nonstop. She was flying, she was doing all kinds of maneuvers in her ship. This one felt more suspenseful, sneaking around. She was trying to infiltrate. She was trying to get information. She was trying to learn, secrets to how these aliens travel throughout space. That's the whole premise. And I found that very a nice change of pace. Although there was a lot of action, but it felt more suspenseful to me. Other than that, I felt the dynamics between her and the different aliens that she met to be interesting. There's a lot of prejudices that she had to deal with, and she had to deal with like receiving and also giving towards other aliens. She had to catch herself a few times, so I found that very, very relevant currently in this day and age. But it was very, very interesting. Brandon Sanderson does that. He does stuff like that a lot. He puts things that are happening on in the world right now inside of his books. I really enjoyed. I wouldn't say the pacing was pretty good. I didn't find moments where there was lulls where I was bored or anything like that. It's pretty nonstop. It's not super complicated like Brandon Sanderson's some of his other works, like Way of Kings. There's like 4 or 5 different POVs. In this one, I think there's only 1, maybe 2 during the epilogues and some of the interludes. But yeah, for the most part, I believe we're just following the main character Spencer and her interactions with what's going on. What else happened? What else can I say about this that's non-spoilery? The action scenes are done very well. I mean, Brandon Sanderson is not to this, so I thought I would feel differently because I've come from a lot of his fantasy works. So this is definitely more sci-fi fantasy. And the action still stuck with me. Like, I didn't think, like, I'm used to sword fighting and magic, and this was more, pilots, like jet fighters, and it was very, very different. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. This is a highly recommend. If you want to get into sci-fi, again, Brandon Sanderson pulls another one out to get you into it. Read Skyward and then read Starsight. It's very good. Not that long, about 480 pages. Not that bad, and some of that's the acknowledgement, so not completely necessary to read. But yeah. So I think that's it for non-spoiler section. We're gonna get into the spoiler section. So you've been warned. 3, two, one, spoilers. So, I want to talk about why. First of all, I want to talk about why Spencer is just her attitude towards these aliens is crazy. Like I would have thought, because she met Mbot and he's an AI and they're supposed to be super super dangerous, that she wouldn't have level of anger towards some of the creatures that she's never met. But I do appreciate going from her completely hating them, her kind of understanding they're just people like her. Like they go through their lives, they have families, they're just trying to live too, and they've been taught, just like she has, she's been taught to hate the Krell, they've been taught to hate humans. Humans are violent. So seeing that understanding come to her, I really enjoyed. I didn't think that we were gonna get that in this book. I thought it was gonna be longer. Brandon Sanderson, if he's, I don't know how many books this is gonna be, but I'm assuming maybe that he extends it to kind of fully develop it. But it worked. Like I believed her when she started realizing that they're just people. Her interactions with Kuna, like at first she thought he was like really creepy and really menacing. His smile was scaring her, but in this particular, and towards the end, she realizes he's attempting to smile to make her feel better, like to show her that he is wanting to learn, human gestures to show his belief in them, and I like that a lot. And then she also learned some of the gestures from I forgot what he is, Dion, how to say that. But that I did like. What else? Another spoiler. Her powers. I love her powers. I think they're super interesting. For the longest time, I thought they were capturing all the humans that could use cytonics, and the humans were the hyperdrives. Like literally, like in cages or like had shackles on and forced to use their cytonics to jump the ships. And I was like, I'm calling it right now. She's gonna walk in. There's gonna be humans chained down. They're gonna be hooked up to some machine, and they're gonna be forcibly making them use cytonics, which is where the scream comes from. And it's gonna create war. Like she's gonna be mortified, and she's gonna go back. She's gonna steal this hyperdrive. She's gonna go back home, and it's gonna be like all out war against superiority. But it turned out they're different. Doomslug was it. I was wondering why Doomslug was in this story. I was like, it can't just be a pet. But okay, I can acknowledge that maybe it's just a friend she found in the cave in the first book. Totally fine. Turns out they are the hyperdrives, which didn't see that coming. So that was cool. What else? Like Braid, the interaction between Braid and Spencer was interesting. Her just not like Braid, just really, I guess, being raised by Winzik and being brainwashed to think that this is okay and she's evil and they're dangerous. Because I was like, Braid, I kept thinking, oh, she's gonna convince her, and it didn't happen. It thought, and you think she's gonna convince her, and then she flies away. You're like, okay, she's getting through to her. Like even the character Spencer's like, I'm getting through to her, and no. At the end, she completely was like, nope, we're killing all the humans. Like to the point to where she attempted to call a Delver and to destroy Detritus, which I was like, wow. After all that, and again, I don't know if they said in the book exactly how long, like they had all been together, a few months maybe. So I guess not that long in the grand scheme of things. I don't remember how long Spencer flew with her original flight, skyward flight. I'm assuming it's longer than that. I mean, she grew up with humans. Braid might not. I don't think we know her backstory. We just know she's a human. She came from a different colony. Winzik got her legalized so that have her around. So yeah, Braid I thought was an interesting character. I guess I expected her to switch, but I'm glad she didn't because that would have been what I expected. I didn't want to be able to call what was going to happen. Um, I liked interactions. I mean, can we just talk about Hesho being like one of the best characters in this book? That little cat fox thing, he was dope. And am I the only one that's mad that he died? I'm really mad he died. He was one of my favorite characters. I like Spencer. Hesho was just funny. He was serious, but he was funny. And I don't know if he was. I'm assuming he was meant to be funny, um, but he brought some levity to the situation, I guess. Vapor was really really cool. I would have never thought. That's an interesting character design. Vapor, and the only way you know she's around is through the scent she gives off, and even her insults are based off smell because that's what I'm assuming her and the rest of the people around her are accustomed to relating to her smell. She smells cinnamon when Vapor's around, but then she smells lemon later on. Spencer, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you. Spencer smells cinnamon when Vapor's around, but then also smells, I think it was lemon, something relating to lemon during the interaction where she trying to get the bot back. She made a bot to infiltrate engineering to find out what a hyperdrive was. Bot was coming back. She had to create this diversion, and she smelled lemon, and I was like, "That's interesting. Is that another one of Vapor's people that's also working for Winzig?" So Kuna has one, and Vapor has one, or Winzig has one. Like that's interesting, and it turned out to be Vapor. So they give off different scents depending on their moves, which I thought was cool. I was like, Brandon Sanderson does characters crazy. Hesho and his people were super cool. I liked that they had interactions with humans before, which obviously explains why they're aggressive. They're aggressive in this, seen as highly aggressive. Yeah, Hesho, Vapor, Braid. I don't know how do you say his name? Mariam. The Dion that has who's going under his. He has his two parents inside of him, and they're deciding whether or not to keep him. He was very interesting, just for the simple fact that he was constantly in this internal struggle with himself. He wants to be born, but at the same time, he doesn't know what he's doing wrong. He keeps saying he's aggressive, he's too aggressive. Then at the same time, the superiority wants that aggression because they need these guys to fight the Delvers. So the constant battle within him to like not be scared and not be too aggressive was interesting to me. I don't know. I don't know how other people felt. Let me know how you guys felt. But I thought it was interesting, and I did like that in the end, he, became a hero. He saved everyone. He saved them when they needed to be saved. He was afraid to fight. He didn't want to fight, and his relationship with Spencer helped him kind of, come into his own as an individual. Before it was like kept just thinking about what one parent wanted, what one parent wanted, what he should be. And this one, he came to be himself, his own person. I didn't understand what happened at the end. I maybe have to go reread. I don't know if he was actually born as he was, and he's just a baby now after what happened, or are they born as babies, or do the parents just create an adult version of what they thought was the best combination of traits? Maybe somebody can tell me. I might have missed that. So I like the characters that they brought forward. Winzig, he was so creepy to me. Like just the pretending to be like nice, and I don't know. It's the whole superiority thing about being overly nice and not too aggressive felt like BS to me the whole time. The moment it happened, there's no way that people don't have aggressive tendencies, even if you have forced these species to no longer be that. There's always some sort of aggression, and started seeing it slowly and slowly. Like Winzig he pretended this whole time like he He didn't get angry. He was like, oh, really aggressive. Anytime someone got aggressive with him, particularly Spencer. Um, uh, and then throughout the thing, you started seeing his aggression. He was aggressive in the sense that he wanted a group of fighters to fight for him. He wanted to destroy detritus. Um, but his outward aggression towards an individual was never there. He was always very calm. And I thought that was funny that he talked about aggression, not realizing that he was being highly, highly aggressive towards a species that I felt wasn't really doing anything. But then again, I don't, and I would have to put myself in the shoes of like humans almost conquered the universe and destroyed them, so they're afraid of them. So this plan was just like, that's super shitty. You're gonna summon a Delver and just send it to detritus to kill the humans, and then use it as a stranglehold on the rest of the universe to do what the superiority wants. So I don't know. I don't know how anyone could like rationalize that, but I guess in his mind he was right. He was doing what was best for the superiority. But it seemed like it was more the best for the superiority in the sense that they wanted to maintain power, whereas Hunan just wanted the superiority to stand for what it originally was supposed to stand for. You know, elevating species and having bond with species across the universe and stuff like that. So he thought he was creepy, thought he was in on it. He was kind of shady, and he really wasn't. Kunan, he actually was a nice dude. Like he obviously had some political gains and stuff that he wanted. There was a lot of manipulating, but it wasn't for a bad thing. He really wanted species to come together and understand each other. And they all understood at some point they're going to need aggression. They need some sort of aggression because they're going to have to fight the devils. Eventually, they're going to come back, right? So the people in the superiority, the species in the superiority, are not willing to fight. So they're going to need species that are willing to fight. Hence why they had the tryouts for the pilots for the superiority. As all the pilots they currently have don't have the experience or the aggression to be able to fight the Delvers. They're going to run. They're going to get scared. They're not going to be right. So I liked Kunan. I didn't like him at first, but then as he slowly progressed throughout the story, I started to like him. He reminded me of like a less aggressive alien Cobb, right? I guess for that sense, he reminded me of Cobb. Like Cobb is more, he has that anger sometimes, but because of the superiority, Kunan does not get angry as much, but he drops little dimes of wisdom that Cobb did. He made Spencer think, which I appreciated. Spencer's paranoia got on my nerves a lot, but I guess in the situation, it's understandable, So I guess I can give a pass on that. She was super paranoid. But again, she's never met an alien race. She's never seen them except for the Krell. And she dropped in a giant dome, a giant city, bigger than, I think it was big. She said the city was bigger than her planet. With a bunch of alien species. She had no idea who they were. And she was also pretending to be Alanique, another alien species, which she had no information on except that she was cytonic, while infiltrating, trying to steal a hyperdrive from a highly advanced alien coalition and not get caught. While having Mbot, which she learns that they don't like AIs, just to hide Mbot. So, yeah, I could see a little bit why she was paranoid, but eventually it was like, okay, you've kind of understood that your hologram is working. No one really suspects you, and she suspects the cleaning lady. For a long time, she was super mean to the cleaning lady. I was like, man, the lady's just cleaning, man, chill. But she ended up getting over that, which wasn't bad. We talk about her leaving Mbot. I was like, bro, Just jump to Mbot, jump in the pilot, the cockpit, and Titanic your way out of that. And she left Mbot. I was like, man, Mbot's been left so much. How you gonna leave Mbot? Mbot was your road dog. You're gonna leave him? So that bothered me. I was like, dude, like, and that situation only happened because she was super comfortable with Braid, some weird reason because she was human, also some sort of kindred connection. I was like, but Braid has never shown you that he's trustworthy. So why would you tell her your ultimate secret? Like you told Hunan, because I feel like he showed you that he was trustworthy. Braid did not. The whole time in the story, didn't listen, not a team player. She didn't try to like get along with anyone. She, towards the end, started giving a little. You know, she started having little pieces of conversation. That was it. She never showed you that she was trustworthy. So why would you tell her the most critical information that could get you killed? Which turned out to be the reason why she got attacked, why she had to teleport away and leave Mbot and Doomslug. After knowing that Doomslug was the reason, or was the superiority secret to hyperjumping. So you don't even go back and get the secret to which you needed. All you did was tell them Doomslug is the secret. That's how they hyperjump. What if there was no colony of Doomslugs on, I forgot what the technical term was, what they called them, but what if there was no more of that species on Detritus? What if Doomslug was the only one? Which would be believable because that's why she was with the ship. Because whoever had the ship before had Doomslug to hyperjump. So, yeah, that bothered me a lot. I was like, come on, man, really? But character flaw, I guess. That's not perfect characters. And then, so, I liked the training montages, how they kind of, you know, went back to the first book where she was training with Skyward Fly and learning all this. So now she's in like Jorgen's spot and understanding kind of a little bit of what Jorgen went through and how to keep the team together and how to structure them, get them to fly. So that was cool. I liked the test maze, the Delver maze. That was cool. Like at first where they were super freaked out about what was happening and all the crazy things they saw and they had to work together. Is this real? Are you seeing this? No, I'm seeing this. Okay, it's not real. Are you seeing this? Yeah, I'm seeing this. So it's real. That was cool. They had to work together as a flight. But I didn't like that we spent more time in the Delver test maze than we did in the actual Delver maze. When Braid summoned the Delver and Benson went into the maze, it was, I don't know, it wasn't that long. It was probably like 10 pages, maybe. I don't even know if it was that, where they were in the maze. And it was terrifying. You got a sense that it was more terrifying than the first time they went into the fake maze, which I thought we were going to spend more time in there kind of letting that sink in, letting the reader feel like terror that everyone felt. You know what I mean? But we didn't get that. It was very, very quick, you know? Bensa was able to detect the center. So I wish we would have spent more time in the actual Delver maze, kind of get that suspense, get the heart pumping, make us feel the terror before what happened after. But yeah, that's... And then the truth of the Delver, which was kind of interesting. The Delvers didn't realize that specs that they realized were humans, or I don't even know if they realized that they were humans or Deons or whatever. I don't know if they realized these were alien species. I don't even think it alluded to the fact that they did not know that they were even alive. So I'm like, what are the Delvers? I don't understand, you know, what they were. I thought they were this menacing threat, but kind of in the end get the sense that they didn't even realize that Spensa and Hesho and the Superiority were even alive. So then when they realized, the Delver in particular realized that they were alive, it freaked out and left. Or did Spensa send it back? And maybe I missed that, whether or not she sent it back or it went back. But there was a sense of horror that I couldn't believe that it was actually killing things. So I think that the communications are harming it, and it gets annoyed, it gets mad, like it's swatting like a fly or something, not realizing that we are the flies and the fly is alive. I think that's going to be interesting to be explored in the next book because Spencer jumps through the portal into the nowhere. Um, so I don't know what's going to happen. Where is the nowhere? We haven't really seen what the nowhere is. So I think we're going to explore the nowhere, but now I'm stuck waiting for the next book, and this book just came out, so probably not going to get a Skyward until after Stormlight 4 and maybe another book. But yeah. Oh, Mbot being destroyed. So she leaves Mbot, and then Winzik takes Mbot, finds out he's an AI, and then literally rips him apart and destroys his shit. Bro, I was so mad. I was like, man, are you kidding me? Now you don't have your highly advanced ship. You barely have Mbot because he was barely able to copy himself, which is another crazy thing. We see like Terminator coming. Is this Skynet? I think he's just going to duplicate on a massive scale, and he's going to take over all the ships. I don't know. So yeah, Mbot got destroyed. All this stuff happened, and then she jumps through the portal, and it ends there. And I was like, so she never actually gets to see Jorgen again. She barely saw Kimlin. She saw Cobb. I got that moment. She didn't see Gran. I was like, oh, she just jumped through a portal into nowhere. She has no idea where she's going to end up. I don't believe she has a flight suit on with a helmet. So is she going to be in space? Where is she going to be? Because last time we saw her take her helmet off and she went into the Delver and sent it back, it literally collapsed in on itself and she was in space with no helmet and almost died. So who knows? But yeah, long story long, I really enjoyed Starsight. I thought it was great. It scratched an itch for sci-fi that I didn't know I had. Characters are really good. The story's really good. It's very fast-paced action. This one has a little bit more political stuff. Has a lot more suspense because she's infiltrating the superiority. But highly recommend both books. And yeah, let me know what you thought about it. Let me know who your favorite character was. Any issues you had with the book, anything you would have liked changed, let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button, subscribe. I appreciate it. And I will catch you guys next time. I'm probably going to do another discussion review thingy on Warbreaker. Almost done with that. I'm listening to that one. And yeah, let me know any suggestions you have for another book. I need another audiobook to listen to while I'm at work. I'm about to finish Warbreaker. I'm reading Lies of Lochlamore next. I'm waiting for that to come in the mail. I've gotten a few more books on my bookshelf, trying to collect them, get all the books that I've read. But yeah, again, appreciate it. As always, I'll see you next time. Peace.